Hello everyone, welcome back to English with Lina. So we have a lovely guest with us today. Miss Du is here. Okay, so Miss Du, can you introduce a bit about yourself?
Well, hello everyone. My name is Ngọc and I'm very happy to be here with Miss Lina today.
Okay, so Miss Du just got a very amazing score, 7.5 in IELTS speaking, alright? So today let's hear what she's gonna answer in a mock test, alright? So without further ado, let's get things started. Okay, so in part one, do you often wear sunglasses?
Well, I usually wear sunglasses, especially in sunny days. When you have to live in Ho Chi Minh City, you cannot avoid extreme glare with high UV rays, which means having sunglasses is a must.
Lovely. So, do you spend a lot of money on sunglasses?
Well, I would say that I would not spend excessive amount of money on something just because it is nice or trendy. I would go for something which is much more practical. And if only one pair of sunglasses can already serve me with many purposes, I would just stop spending money on it.
Okay, lovely. So, do you give sunglasses as a gift?
I think it would be a unique choice as a gift, but I think that it is good. I think it would be very thoughtful of you to give your friend something that they can use to protect themselves from sunlight. But yeah, it can also be a fashionable item so that they can add a touch of flair to their outfits.
Lovely. Why do you wear sunglasses?
I'm short-sighted, so I really want to protect my eyesight from further damage. Because of that, I will wear sunglasses to shield my eyes from sunlight. And sometimes, if I want to make myself look stylish, I will wear sunglasses.
Hey, very nice. So, do you play video games?
Actually, I have stopped playing video games ever since I started my high school years. I think it would take up too much of my precious time just for my homework or my in-class assignments, and I think it's kind of a time wasting activity.
Mm, okay. So, what kinds of video games? Like, I guess that sometimes you would play video games, right? So, what kind of video games do you like to play?
I would go for something that can make me feel relaxed, like, for example, puzzle. Um, that can like really foster your cognitive thinking skills. And sometimes, if you can achieve something great in that game, it can give you a sense of achievement.
Okay, so you do like some video games then?
I think so.
Is it good for young people to play video games, in your opinion?
Well, I think it would not be entirely negative for young students or young people to play video games. It can still foster some of their skills or even teamwork if it is played in a social setting. As long as they don't let video games interfere with other aspects of their life, like health or their academic performance, I think it's still good.
Okay, so actually, you hold quite a positive view on it.
Okay.
Should violent video games be banned?
Like I have mentioned, it is not entirely negative. However, violent video games can still cause more harm than people think. Young people, they can easily imitate the violent behaviors from the characters that are available in the games. So I think they should be strictly prohibited or just strictly controlled, I think, so that the youngsters would not like spend too much time being exposed to it, and somehow it would not cause too much harm to their personal development and the society. Maybe.
Okay, lovely, thank you. Okay, so next topic. Do you like eating cakes?
I actually don't have such a sweet tooth, so I don't really like pastries. But sometimes, just sometimes, when I feel like, okay, I'm having a lot on my plate, so I will try something sugary to lift up my mood.
Okay. Do you know how to bake a cake?
Well, to be honest, I'm not that good at cooking. And I would hate to admit that my mother is a really good cook, but I am nothing like her. I can make simple dish, but I cannot like when it comes to a cake, I cannot even make a proper one.
All right. So when do you usually eat cakes?
I think in most big events like birthday parties or anniversary, I think those are some special events that people like will have a really big one in order to celebrate their milestone. And I think only in those events that I can enjoy a really decent cake.
Okay. What is your favorite kind of cake?
Well, I'm not really into cakes, but if I had to choose, I would go for cream puff. As you can see, it's kind of soft, creamy, and it has crisp outer shell. And although it's quite sweet, but somehow it tastes like it is really comfortable for me to enjoy.
Mm, all right. So moving on to the next part, we have part two. Yeah. So I'll give you this topic. Right. Can you see it?
Yes.
So you will have 1 minute to prepare. All right. And then after that, you are expected to talk for a minimum of 2 minutes. All right.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. So
Um,
here's some pencil and paper for you.
okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, time's up. So let's start speaking.
Okay, so this topic immediately reminds me of a job, which is an accountant. And yes, I would never imagine myself working as an accountant, even in my wildest dream. An accountant, as you may know, is a profession that involves working with complex number or figures, and you also need to analyze a financial report and to make budgets for different projects. And I have heard about it frequently because it is an extremely common job in Vietnam. So I have heard about it ever since I was a primary student until I need to make my first decision as which job that I would take in the future. And while many people consider being an accountant as a job which is really stable with high salary and with promising job prospects, I have never considered it as something undemanding. I think this job is quite mentally taxing, as you have to be really careful. You need to be really meticulous in order to work with numbers and avoid making any significant mistakes. And being an accountant requires special kind of personality, as you need to be really patient. You need to be really attentive, and because of that, I would say that this job is really, really demanding. Um, so to explain,
Okay, so thank you very much. All right. So let's move on to part three, shall we? I will ask some questions related to part two that you have just spoken. Okay, so what would you say are the important factors to consider when choosing a career?
when choosing a career, I would take into account two main factors. The first one is job advancement, and the second one is job fulfillment. For the former, I would say that I am a kind of person who want to make progress and to move forward something bigger. So I would never want to see myself in the same position in the next few years. And about the latter, I think it would be better if you can work in a position that can bring you joy. And yeah, that are the two most important factors if I want to choose a career.
Okay, thank you. So, how do you think artificial intelligence will affect people's work?
Well, I think it would greatly affect how people's work in both positive and negative way. For the negative side, I'm sorry, the positive side, AI would obviously improve our productivity and it can reduce mistakes made by human. While when we have to consider the negative side, I would say that it can lead to higher unemployment rate, as you can see.
Okay, thank you. So, is it common in your country for people to move to other cities because of work?
I think it is extremely common, especially in Vietnam, or to be particular, in Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, where I can see a greater number of people flocking into this city like annually. I think it is mostly because these cities are well developed. It is a place where various aspects are really thriving, like, for example, the healthcare industry or education. So, not only can people have better working conditions, but they can also be surrounded with more facilities for better personal development and for better chance of job progression.
Okay, thank you very much. So that is the end of our test. Okay, so Miss Du has just completed her speaking test with me. So maybe Miss Du, can you share a little bit about your some of the tips for speaking?
Well, I actually don't have much tips, but I recommend you can try to watch some English videos. I think that is the most effective way to practice your intonation or your pronunciation. And sometimes, if you want to improve your vocabulary, you can try to read some books or some reading materials like yeah, TED Talks, for example. And yeah, I think that are some of the tips that I can share right now.
Okay, thank you very much. So you can click the follow, I mean the subscribe button and the like button for this video, right? And follow us for more content and the many videos in this channel. I speak in English, so you can, like Miss Du just suggest, right? Watch some videos in English, right? And then we have some English and Vietnamese subtitles coming up as well, so you can check them out if that's going to be helpful for your studying. All right. So thank you very much for joining us today, and thank you guys for watching. Bye for now.